Sweet.
Okay.
Awesome. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm out in the studio.
Oh, I see. Is that one of your paintings behind you?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's an old one. Actually, it is on paper, and for years I painted oil sticks on paper, on printmaking paper.
hmm Oh, wow. Well,
And
it makes for a great backdrop for this call. So, excellent choice. I decided to blur my background because there's just
yeah,
too much going on back
where
there.
are you?
I'm at my home.
Oh,
I wanted to choose a spot that was hopefully well lit enough, although the sun keeps going in and out of
so you get
clouds.
shadows.
Yes, so hopefully you can still see my face enough, but your face is
Yes.
more important, so it doesn't really matter. That's okay. But yeah, well, we'll just go ahead and kick it off.
Ask away. Yeah,
Yeah,
ask away.
yeah. That way we can, because we also want to make sure we get to see a tour, get a tour of your studio too. But
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I'm so glad that you were able to do this. It just makes it so much more fun when we can kind of get to know the artist, and then we'll put it on the website so that
Okay.
people can get to know you more and your artwork, and just being able to see your studio as well is really cool. Just keeping the community engaged in the arts is really important. Also,
Yeah. I'm getting an echo. Are you getting an echo?
I'm not getting an echo, but I can put on headphones if that will help. That might help some.
That would stop the echo from my end? Echo is me. I'm echoing.
Oh, you can hear yourself echoing. You're not echoing for me, but if it's bothering you, you could try headphones. But it all sounds good. But yeah, thanks again for doing this. It's we're just trying to keep the community engaged in the arts and have them get to know the artists a little bit more. So I'm excited. But why don't we just start with you introducing yourself, who you are, and how you would describe your work to someone who is, maybe not familiar with it. So.
Okay. Well, my name is Susan LaMantia, and actually I've been painting for probably 50 years. And my artwork for the better part of my life has been abstract expressionism, minimalism. For a period of time when I was working as an art therapist, I was doing abstract, expressionist, figurative pieces. But my first love really is contemporary art, abstraction. And I've referred to my art as drawing from the artwork of the earth, ideas from the Fauves or from abstract expressionists. The Fauves basically was about their combining unique colors.
Yeah.
And, but I really prefer abstract expressionism used for my work because it's about the energy, and there's lots of layers. And in fact, my process is to work fairly large and put down a layer of color. And then currently I'm working in acrylics. So I seal the acrylics with a polymer medium. And then every color that is laid on top is then sealed with a polymer medium. And I do that to seal the color, to keep it vivid so that it doesn't get muddy. Because if you keep on layering color, after a while you end up with either all brown or all black.
Yeah.
You don't get that.
You do that for each layer?
Yep.
Wow.
And I when I was painting with oil sticks, and the oil sticks are huge compressed oil paint that has a skin on it. You peel the skin off, and you can draw and and move the paint around with your hands. But years and years ago, when the price of oil started going up, the price of oil sticks got almost prohibitive.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, which meant that if I had an oil stick like this, it would maybe be $50. And when you're using a lot of color and working really large, you can go through the oil
You'll
sticks really
go through it
quick.
real fast. So is that part of why you switched to acrylic then?
And
Gotcha.
well, initially when I was in art school, when I was in undergraduate school, I went to Florida State, got a degree in painting at Florida State, then went from Florida State, I went to UNCG.
Oh, that's where my sister went.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the MFA program there, but we're talking now end of the 60s, just going into the 70s. Very few women, no female teachers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I ended up being an abstractionist in a realist school. So it was not a good fit. I really suffered. So I never finished the program.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Chicago, and then that's where I got my MA in art therapy. But
Okay.
my point is, I started out in with doing the acrylics eons ago, and they didn't. Back then, the whites would yellow after a while, and you didn't get the clarity, crispness of color. And so that's why I went to oil paint, because with oil paint, you get such a clarity, and when the light shines on the oil paint, it almost goes through, you know, to layers beyond layers beyond. But in the years since, they've made these mediums that the acrylics almost look like oil paint. So that's why I went back to acrylics.
That's really interesting. So do you still prefer one or the other? It sounds like you're just able to adapt really well to to whatever you can use, but which is great.
Well, the acrylics dry quicker, even though they make mediums to use with the oil to speed up the drying process. Every now and then I'll do an oil painting. But since I paint with my hands, it's really not too healthy to move the oil around with my hands. And as a matter of fact, the last year or so, I've been wearing gloves because there are certain colors that I use, in particular red, that are toxic. And that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Moving it around.
Now that is something I wanted to talk to you about, was how you use your hands, which I think is so cool. But was there a point in time, was there some pivotal moment where you're like, forget brushes, hands are better?
You know, I've been asked that before, and I don't remember. I think there was a time when I did use brushes, but it always felt as though I was not connected to the surface. And I don't mind. I mean, my painting clothes are, you know, covered, and my hands. And but I like moving the paint around, and I'll use something like, if I want a straight line, I'll use a ruler or something and run that through the paint. But I really kind of like.
Just makes you feel more connected to the paint, the art itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do the gloves, does that affect it at all for you?
Well, the gloves, I'm constantly having to rip them off in between colors. And so what I have found is I'll rip the gloves off, and the next thing I know is I'm painting and I don't have gloves on. So
you're right back at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.